If you live, work, or spend time in the city of Detroit, this is where you hope you never have to call.
Emergency 911, where's the problem?
This is Detroit's Emergency Operations Center, where every one of the city's 4,400 daily calls to 911 are answered. It's a high-pressure job for sure, where seconds count and operators need to be sharp and alert when they respond to any emergency. Here, an operator's decisions can mean the difference between life and death.
What's going on there, ma'am? What's the problem?
103 operators are budgeted to work here, but thanks to attrition and other factors, only 83 of those slots are actually filled. And when you factor in the number of operators off on sick leave, workers' comp, and those assigned to other necessary duties.
So how many operators are actually answering the phones?
58.
Only 58?
Yes.
For the entire city?
For the entire city of Detroit.
Sheila Pennington is the union president for AFSCME Local 1023, which represents the city's emergency service operators. She says she spent the last year writing letters and asking for meetings with everyone from city council members to the chief of police, all to urge the city to hire more 911 operators for Detroit's shorthanded department.
Well, that means that 9 times out of 10, you're going to get an operator that is extremely tired because they've been worked to the point that they're just totally unfit for duty.
And because of the shortage, operators are often forced to work 16-hour days when there aren't enough bodies to cover shifts. As this staffing report from a shift in June reads, polled every 911 operator to work overtime will have to force 4 operators to work an additional 8 hours. And when an operator refuses a double shift, they can face discipline in the form of suspensions, even if they have what seems like a legitimate reason.
Doctor's appointments, they have to go home, care for their children, sick spouse or relative.
And they'll discipline them for that?
Yes, even if they bring in documentation.
One operator said she could not work 8 hours of overtime because of scheduled oral surgery. The operator said she was in pain, but documents obtained by Action News show that she was hit with a 1-day suspension for keeping her dental appointment.
Does that sound logical on its face? No, it doesn't. If a person's trying to go into oral surgery.
Detroit Police Chief Warren Evans agrees that the city needs to hire more operators, but says city rules don't make filling the positions as easy as it should be. Instead of opening the job to the general public, the city is required to choose from a limited pool of city workers with the most seniority. And because training new operators is so costly, the department can only afford to train them once a group has been assembled.
You don't run a training program for one person or 2 people. And so when you get enough vacancies to be able to bring in a number of people as we have now, you will hire some more.
But could the city have solved this problem months ago? Documents obtained by Action News show the police department has had critical needs funding to hire an additional 15 911 operators since January. Money that's been collecting dust while operators are forced to work double shifts.
You had the go-ahead to hire 15 people. Here we are in July. They haven't been hired. Why wait?
It may have been a business decision to say, let's wait a few more months because we've got some overages here, and we don't want to be in a position at the end of the year where we have to start laying off people.
After our interview, a department spokesperson clarified the chief's comments, saying the delay in hiring wasn't caused by a budget shortage as he suggested, but instead by the city's human resources department. Still, Evans insists 15 new operators will be hired in the coming weeks, but they won't be able to answer any calls until after their rigorous 3-month training program. And that means shorthanded operators like Sheila Pennington won't see any relief until as late as November.
It's basically going to be a summer that nobody will ever forget because people are going to be falling dead on both ends of that telephone. So we need to prevent it at all costs.
In addition to the obvious human toll that a delay in answering a 911 call can take, the operator shortage is also costing us tax dollars. Documents that we obtained show that last year alone, operators racked up about 50,000 hours of overtime, totaling about $1.9 million. If you have a tip about this story or any others, contact us directly by sending an email to tips@WXYZ.com or call us at 248-827-9466. I'm Heather Catallo, Channel 7 Action News.